student athletes that represent our community by being the exclusive sponsor of the WTIM Nicole Patrick Country Financial Player of the Game. During Tornado Sports broadcasts this school year, WTIM announcers will select a player at the end of each game who will receive a certificate for being named our Player of the Game. Good luck to all the teams this season, and go Tornadoes!
WTIM.
Good morning, Central Illinois, and welcome to the WTIM Morning Show on your information station. The show is sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and in the case of this particular segment, the Taylorville School District, where they promote student success because they're A+. And I mentioned that last point because today is the first Thursday of the month. We actually missed it last month, but we're back to doing the Taylorville Schools Good News segment, 8:40, the first Thursday of every month. And our guest in this particular edition of said feature is the incoming principal at Taylorville Junior High School, Grant Grant. Now, that name might sound familiar because he was actually here previously in the capacity of one of the assistant coaches of the South Fork 8-man football team. But no, now he's at Taylorville Junior High School, and he joins us in this part of the show. Mr. Graham, welcome in.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate letting me come out here and talk with you guys. So.
Yeah, it is our pleasure. You and I spoke briefly as well, actually, at the previous school board meeting. But actually, listeners got to hear some of that in the recap story from it, but they didn't hear the whole thing. So we may end up talking again about a couple things that were mentioned there. But yeah, first, just tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and your education background.
So I graduated high school from North Mac over in Verdon. That's where I grew up. I then went to Knox College up in Galesburg, Illinois, where I played college football and intramural basketball up there. That's where I obtained my bachelor's degree. And from there, I was also a Golden Apple Scholar. So then during the summers, I went to different universities and different schools, elementary, middle schools throughout each summer. After I graduated from Knox, I started teaching in that and took a very small break and then went back for my master's at Eastern, where I obtained my master's in educational leadership. And I'm currently pursuing my specialist degree from Eastern as well. So it's been fun, and I've enjoyed it.
All right. You mentioned the Golden Apple program. Is that what that was?
Yeah. So it's a scholarship in Illinois where seniors in high school, and they actually do have a path once you are a teacher as well, but it's promoted for, the education, occupation and that. And it's a scholarship set up to allow teachers, to a lot of support, not only financially, but also with experience. And like I kind of mentioned, in the summer times, there's different universities that host, and you go for 3 to 4 weeks and you stay at whatever university it may be. And then you go and actually attend summer schools where you can get that hands-on experience. So it's a phenomenal scholarship. And if you're looking to be a teacher, I highly recommend looking into that.
Okay, that sounds really cool, and just getting that experience. There's nothing quite like getting experience when you're in a profession. Certainly, if you're trying to move up as well. So yeah, so that's your education background. I guess talk then a little bit about how you got from from there and whatever it is you did after that to now being principal at Taylorville Junior High.
So then from there, I started at South Fork as an elementary PE teacher, and I transitioned to the dean of students there, and I was able to coach middle school basketball, high school football. Absolutely love that, and love the people I worked with and the students that I was able to teach and coach. And then from there, I had the opportunity to come over to Taylorville, which I am beyond excited about and honored for this position.
Yeah, no, that's really cool, and it sounds like you just went one step at a time, and then got to where you are. I guess next question: why Taylorville?
So with Taylorville, actually, it kind of goes back when I was a lot younger, and my grandparents, their house is actually in Bull Pit, 1L 2 T's, which that's something my dad always said for the spelling. That's where he grew up, but. And so at a very young age, I spent a lot of weekends, a lot of, summer weeks, a lot of holiday breaks at my grandparents' house. And I feel like every day I was there, we always came to Taylorville, and I would ask them to take me to the brick roads in Taylorville, and they would take me around the square. We would eat breakfast at, I believe it was Joe's Cafe on the square there. And I feel like we always had lunch at the old KFC whenever they had the buffet. And it was a lot of good memories, as well as Manners Park was probably one of my favorite memories, whether it was swimming or Christmas in the park with all the lights. So a lot of good memories, but beyond those memories, is probably the community. Basically everybody I've talked to so far within the community, it's been nothing but praising our, the dedicated teachers that we have within not only our the building that I'm in, the junior high, but just the district in total, as well as our amazing students. And I think from that, I'm just extremely excited and honored to be able to work here and work for them. And I can't wait for the school year to start. And I'm beyond thankful for the support that not only I have received from the community itself, but also as well as Taylorville School District.
I love that you shared your memories about Taylorville, and it must feel amazing, right? To have those memories, and now you get to work like with first off just physically in that community, and then with younger folks as well. And I can see just from the smile on your face how much how much that means. So that's really cool that you had all that to talk about. I guess then my next question. So principal at Taylorville Junior High School, junior high, obviously certainly a big inflection point in the lives of folks at that point as they're maturing, inflection point in their road of becoming more mature. And then I know obviously junior high is where the opening was. What made you want to, become principal at this, particular age level?
I've always kind of gravitated towards that middle school level again. So right when I came out of high school and in high school, I actually wanted to be middle school and high school math teacher. That's originally what I went to pursue. And then, ended up going a different route, but I've always had that kind of interest in that age group, because as you said, it's very pivotal moment in their not only in their schooling life, just in life in general. So having that positive impact and being able to play a part of that is crucial and important.
Okay, all right, no, I like that, and hearing that from you. You mentioned so middle and high school math. I love math. What's your favorite kind of math in that sort of range?
I go back and forth. I think I want to say algebra for teaching purposes, because that's when they start getting letters involved, and I think that's where a lot of students get disinterested, because it's now not just numbers, it's now letters as well. And so that was always super fascinating to me, wanting to teach that. I think when I was a student, it was calculus, and also as well as chemistry, because I'd like the science as well with that. So
okay, all right, cool.
Yeah.
No, I had to get that out there for mathematics. So let's see. Yeah, I'd say actually, why don't we take a break right now? Because when we come back, I want to get into a little bit about what's to come. We talked about a little bit. Or a lot actually about you previously, and then we'll look to the future on the other side of this break. I'm talking right now with the incoming principal of Taylorville Junior High School, Grant Graham, here on the Taylorville Schools Good News segment, the first Thursday of the month at 8:40, right here on the WTIM Morning Show on your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
When it comes to connecting with America's farmers and ranchers, nothing beats the authentic voice of Ag Radio. Farm broadcasters have been the voice of rural America since 1944, building trusted relationships with agricultural producers across generations. Today, the network of over 140 Ag radio stations reaches farmers and ranchers during their most productive hours, when they're actively working their operations and making business decisions. What makes Ag Radio uniquely effective? Farmers listen to farm broadcasters for information that directly impacts their livelihood. When your message is delivered alongside Alongside crucial weather updates, market reports, and agricultural news, it receives the same attention and credibility. Farm Radio Connects offers agricultural advertisers targeted access to this engaged audience through professionals who understand both broadcasting and agriculture. According to the National Association of Farm Broadcasting, 78% of farmers consider information from farm broadcasters highly trustworthy. When you need to reach rural America effectively, choose the voices they already trust. Visit IllinoisFarmRadio.com and discover how Ag Radio can elevate your agricultural marketing strategy.
Looking for comfortable, affordable senior living in Taylorville? Rolling Meadows Senior Living now has an accessible unit available. Designed for adults 62 and older, Rolling Meadows offers a smoke-free community with controlled access and 24-hour maintenance. Enjoy spacious kitchens with full-size appliances, convenient on-site laundry, and Wi-Fi in common areas. Call 217-287-2450 today to schedule your appointment. Rolling Meadows Senior Living is sponsored by Lutheran Social Services of Illinois and funded in part by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development and the Federal Home Loan Bank of Chicago. Rolling Meadows is an equal opportunity provider.
Get ready to hit the links. It's the Hart Media Group's Summer Scramble. Join us at Lakeshore Golf Course in Taylorville, Friday, August 14th for a day of fun, sun, and golf. Register now online at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Refreshment services, Pepsi Decatur, the perfect taste for your game.
The Hart Media Group's Summer Scramble, presented by Refreshment Services Pepsi Decatur. We'll see you there.
While there's still plenty of warm summer days to enjoy your pool, now's the perfect time to plan ahead and schedule your pool closing. And don't wait until the last minute. Call the experts or stop by Southern Ledge Pools and Patios in Taylorville today. And while you're here, stock up on those all-important pool chemicals so you'll be ready when closing day arrives. Southern Ledge Pools and Patios in Taylorville. Let us make your backyard dreams come true.
Whether you need a same-day procedure or life-saving care in an emergency, Taylorville Memorial Hospital has the technology and the team to deliver exceptional care. It's where great care comes together. Learn more at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Ready for a new journey? Durham School Services is hiring school bus drivers in Taylorville. To learn more, click their rotating banner ad on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
WTIM.
And we're back on the WTIM Morning Show on your information station. The show is sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, along with, for this segment, the Taylorville School District, where they promote student success because they're A+. This is the Taylorville Schools Good News segment. It happens on the first Thursday of every month at 8:40. Again, we missed last month, so we're glad to have it back for the month of August. And our guest in this part of the show is Grant Graham, the incoming principal at Taylorville Junior High School. We spent the first segment talking about his background, and now we want to look towards the future. And this is something I know any junior high students who are listening and their families, I'm sure, are going to be very interested in. You've got the school year coming up. Talk about kind of what your vision is for the school year, what you're hoping to accomplish.
So for this school year, I envision, I'm anticipating an excellent year, an amazing year that we're going to have. Again, talking with some of the teachers already that have come in, I'm beyond excited to work with them. They have saying nothing but praises for the students that we have. And so I can't wait to kind of start the school year off and get to working with all of them, getting to meet them. And we're going to have a great year.
In terms of like the vision and kind of getting the teachers and the other staff involved, what are, and I mean, obviously don't share anything too private, but like, what are some of those conversations like? What's some of the guidance you're kind of giving in that sense?
At the end of the day, we all have the same goal, is we're wanting the students to succeed. And I say we all as in, the teachers, the faculty, the parents, we all want our students to be the best student they can. And I think giving them the support and the resources to do so is, our job and our priority. So that's kind of what we're looking forward to do.
Yeah. And then in terms of, when you're in communication with students, if you're out at, anything that they have going on, or if they're, with you, talk about kind of how you try to, create and maintain good relationships with them to, do your part directly to kind of foster that?
Again, I think it goes back just knowing that we're there to support them and their academics as well as their extracurriculars, from any clubs that they're in to anything outside of sports clubs, band, like anything like that. We're there to support them, and I think communicating that with them to let them know that we're there for them is important.
Another question I kind of thought of just now, talk about how if this ever really came up, how maybe any of your experiences at that age or at any age going through school has kind of inspired how you are going to approach being a principal, and it's certainly like communicating with the students.
I think it's, thinking back, it's making sure to be in a good role model and doing what I'm asking the students to do, so setting those good examples and making sure that they have somebody that they can kind of look to. And I know from talking with other staff members and other people in the district that like our teachers are already that. And so that's why I'm so excited to work with our teachers within that building.
That's great. I think, and with everything you said about, setting the example, I like that a lot. You've been in charge not for very long so far. What have you been kind of doing to, get yourself and the school ready for the start of the school year?
I've been absorbing as much information as I possibly can. Starting kind of middle of July, it's there's a lot that has come across that just, making sure to try to read up on and know leading into the school year, to have myself on the best foot that I can with our staff and our students. So it's getting myself familiar with the school and with as much as I can in the short amount of time.
And there's a lot to get familiar with, even with that one floor in Taylorville Junior High School, which I myself actually didn't realize until you mentioned it before we got on the show. So yeah, early stages there. In terms of the school year itself, you have probably mentioned this in terms of your vision. What are you most looking forward to?
I think I have kind of mentioned it, and I know it's as cliche as it sounds. I think I'm most looking forward to meeting the entire staff, having those students walk in those doors and starting to get to their classrooms, hearing the laughter in the hallways, that those types of things, having them start, their academics or their extracurriculars and again, being there to support them. I think that's what I'm looking forward to most are those parts, as well as, working with the teachers within the building and seeing their expertise, on firsthand. So.
Yeah, no, that's great. And you're going to get that experience shortly. I think next Thursday, is it?
Correct.
Thursday?
Yep.
Okay.
Our students come back next Thursday, or today, tomorrow, and Monday. We actually have our open house for our middle school students. So they're able to come in, grab their schedules, see their locker, put some stuff in their locker, kind of see their classroom. And then Wednesday night, August 12th, is our 5th grade Meet the Teacher night. So we'll invite the students and the parents or guardians to come in and kind of meet their teacher, get all the important information, kind of some classroom procedures since it's a new building for those 5th graders. So kind of excited to start seeing some students as well as families and people in the community. So
that is exciting. That is great for everyone involved. Let's see, about 90 seconds left. Something else I was kind of curious about, how has it been working with the sort of district level officials in getting you acclimated, getting kind of in line with everyone's goals? What's that been like?
They've been absolutely amazing. Full of support from the whole entire administrative team and district team. I can't say enough great things about them. They've answered every question. They've, given me the tips in which, might needed, any type of resource information that I have asked. They've been amazing.
That's great. And then all of that. 1 minute to go. There's, of course, the new state law was passed. It was signed to regarding phones during classes. Sounds like, yeah, I'm sure you're aware of that. And are you set to make sure that gets enforced in the classrooms?
Yep, our phone policy is the same as it was last year. We're bell to bell, so there's nothing that changed on our end about that.
Okay, nothing that changed, and all right, yeah. So you'll have that to look forward to. So open houses, you said tonight was the first night?
Yeah, actually it's today. So it's at 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's today, tomorrow, and Monday.
Okay. It started. All right. So then you probably better get back to that. We'll get you out of here really shortly because we are just about out of time. Grant Graham, incoming principal at Taylorville Junior High School, has been our guest in this part of the show. Mr. Graham, thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yes, and thank you for listening here on the WTIM Morning Show on your information station. We'll be back in about 10 minutes or so with another conversation, so please stay tuned. Again, you're listening to WTIM.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville. 96.1 FM Taylorville.